Cinda Sells here, and welcome. You know, at the Cinda Sells Real Estate Company, we have a system that gets you the most money when you're selling your home and the best deal when buying a home. And today, I'm going to talk to you about the 8 frequently asked questions from sellers when they're getting ready to sell their home, and I'm going to give you the answers to those. So we're going to go down the line, and I'm going to read a little bit so I make sure I stay on track with it. So the first one is, when is the right time to sell my home? Now, you think that may sound like a crazy question right now because the market is so outstanding with sellers being able to get more money than they ever thought possible for their homes. And but the other component to that, or the other thought about that for the seller, is I can sell my home. No problem there. But where am I going to go? So the thing that you want to think about if you're a seller and you're contemplating this is, yes, now is the time to sell your home. We don't know what's going to happen a year from now. The interest rates are low, and it's a great time. It's a great time to build a house if you want to do that. Again, the interest rates are low. The prices are going up for sure, but the interest rate kind of helps balance that out a little bit. But really, I would say that question would be answered with a consultation. There are options of places for you to go. Now, it doesn't mean that when you sell your house, you won't have anywhere to go, because you will. We can still find you a home. It's a little bit more tricky, but those things can be done. But it's a matter of sitting down and talking to you and seeing, could you go into an apartment for a while, or a rental for a while a home is being built, or, you know, to wait to find the right one. You don't know. But those are things for you to think about. But now is the time to sell that house if you're really thinking about moving. Number 2. How do I get my home ready for sale? Another big question people ask. Well, we have a system, as I told you before, for getting the home ready for staging and photography. But a lot of people are saying, because the market is so hot and they're getting multiple offers on homes, and buyers are just trying to find anything, they're going to be a lot more forgiving of a home that maybe isn't as fabulous condition. But how much work do I have to do? Well, it's going to depend. If your house is in really bad condition, it needs a roof, it needs a new heating and air conditioning system, things like that. Yeah, those are things that we really have to consider. Can we price it with that in mind? Yes, we can. But as far as condition goes, if maybe the floors are scratched because the dog or things like that, no, it doesn't have to be as pristine, and you're still going to get a good price. However, remember this. If your house is pristine, you're going to get an even better price. So they can really bid that up and get a good price for your home. But it's always important, I think, to have your home ready to show, to be clean, smell good, ready to be on the market. Number 3, can I use other real estate websites to price my home? Well, no, and no. That's why you hire a real estate agent. We come in and we do what we call a comparative market analysis. And that means that we're going to look at the overall market in your neighborhood and the overall market in your area. And we're going to price your home according to that. So it's going to be comparable. If you have a 2-story, we're going to look at other 2-stories. Ranches, the same thing. We're going to look for condition. We're going to look for bedrooms and baths, size, location, as far as like it's on acreage or a lot. Those are all things that will give you that. If you go on to Zillow or Realtor.com, I don't think you can, or Realtor.com, you can't price your home through Zillow, because, as everybody knows, their numbers are not accurate. They pull their information a different way than we do. So count on your real estate agent to get you the best price. Number 4, should I price my home high to compensate for this crazy seller's market? Well, no. I believe that you should always price your home right, which is with the last sale. Now, what do I mean by that? So if you have 4 2-story homes in the neighborhood, and they're all exactly the same, and they're all selling for $350,000, and they're all within, a few weeks or a month of each other, even 6 months maybe. Well, maybe not 6 months, but 3 months anyway. Then you don't price your house at $390. You let the buyers, when they make the offer, you price it where it should be, where everything else is selling and appraising. Then what happens is, when the buyers come in to make their offers, let them push the price up. Don't you do it, because overpricing is still wrong. In any market, it's not a good strategy. Your home will sit, and I have proof of that. They will sit. You don't overprice. Number 5, what are your fees and what is the length of the contract? Well, fees are I would say negotiable, but they are something that is presented at the time of the listing appointment. So we discuss the fees and we discuss what we're going to do for that fee. Some agents do more and some agents do less. I don't quote fees to people. I want to make sure that I sit down and explain to them what you're going to get for this amount of money. Typically, fees are 6 to 7%, but again, it depends on your market, the agent, and everything else. The length of the contract, I like to do 6 months. Now, these homes are selling fairly quickly, but every once in a while, you'll come across a house that doesn't sell as quick. And even though that may seem like a long time, it may take that long. Sometimes they go 6 months and right before the listing expires, we sell the house. So it's typically what we do. But again, it's something that we discuss at the time that of the appointment or the listing, and we figure out what's best for us and for you. Number 6 is, do you do open houses? Well, yes, even with the environment that we're in, we still can do open houses. We can socially distance, we can wear masks, we can do anything that anyone is comfortable with, but people still want to get out. They want to get out and touch and feel. We still show homes in person to people. We have people call us and say, will you show us this home? And we still do that because we think it's important for them to get in and feel what it's like in there and see what it's like. Because pictures are wonderful, but they don't always show everything. Number 7, if you get a buyer off of your advertising, which would be our sign, who do you represent? Well, in Missouri, we can do what they call dual agency, where you represent both parties, the seller, buyer. I think that's not, I think it's wrong. I don't think we do that. I think that we should represent one or the other. Now, if you're my listing, you're my seller, and I'm going to show to a buyer, they say, I want to go through you. I just want to buy through the listing agent. I don't want a buyer's agent. That's fine. But I explain to them up front, I will not be representing you. This is my listing. I work for the seller first, and I intend to stay in that position with representing their best interest. And number 8 is, what do I need to disclose about my home? Well, when I sit down with the seller to list their home and we fill out the seller statement of condition, that's what it's called here in Missouri, which discloses everything about that home that the seller knows, I tell them to spill their guts because you don't want anything coming back to haunt you that you didn't disclose. For instance, you've been in the home for 20 years and you replaced a sewer line 10 years ago and you forgot about it. And maybe it wasn't a problem, but maybe it became a problem somehow. And they didn't know, and then they come back afterwards and they sue you because for some reason. Termites is another famous thing that happens. People forget to disclose they had termite damage, or they didn't know, or they knew and they didn't disclose, and then they get sued. So we always want to make sure that as real estate agents that we're protecting your best interest and telling you what to do, and the best thing to do is always disclose everything you know about your property. So if you have any other questions or concerns or things you'd like to discuss, or you'd like to do a consultation with us for listing or for buyer, please call us at 816-600-7355 or visit us on the website at cindasales.com. And remember to like and subscribe below, and then comment if there's anything that you'd like to see or you'd like to know that we could do a video on, or I can answer personally. Just give me those responses and I'd be happy to be able to talk to you about it. Thank you.